Hello everyone. Today was definitely a positive session overall for the market. Absolutely nothing to complain about. As you can see here, the Nasdaq is breaking out to new all-time highs. Volume was above average and much higher than the previous 4 sessions. So it's kind of hard to find anything to complain about on that index. All of our oscillators now, TSV, MACD, RSI, stochastics are trending higher. None of them are overbought, so there is plenty of room left for us to run. The NASDAQ 100 absolutely blasted off to brand new all-time highs. Volume 2 was above average and much higher than the previous 4 sessions. All of the internal oscillators that we track are trending higher now. None are near overbought, so there's obviously more room for this index to run too. But the NASDAQ and NASDAQ 100 are now both under operational buy conditions. That's basically now just confirming our already fully invested stance in our own portfolios. And after hours tonight, Google blew out earnings. I'm not sure how much it's up now, but at one point it was up at least 50 and it was trading around 623, I believe, the last time I checked on it. So Google has blasted out to new all-time highs, confirming Netflix's blast off to all-time new highs this morning following an impressive earnings beat, which was preceded by the stock splitting 10-1, I do believe. So overall, pretty or 7-1, I think it was. Sorry, 7-1. Whatever it was, who cares? The bottom line is it's split. We have a lot more shares now than we did. I think I have 70 shares now, so that would make that 10-1. But whatever. I don't know. I don't have the split up here. Who cares? The bottom line is that the market looks extremely strong right now. And the only other thing we could see is if Priceline would blast off to new highs and Apple would blast off to new highs. I guess that would be total confirmation. But Google following through with Netflix tonight, it's about as good as you can get. I don't want to really fight this trend, do you? It doesn't pay off much. S&P 500, as you can see, bouncing right off its 50-day moving average. It's not at new highs yet, but you can see all the internal oscillators are confirming the uptrend. Everything looks good. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, not as strong, the weaker of the set of indexes, but that's not a big deal. We don't even really follow this one at all. It's just more confirmation. Even after hours tonight, while the NASDAQ 100 is up quite a bit, I believe the Dow Jones futures are actually down slightly, just proving how irrelevant this average is to the overall market condition currently. And on that note, the reasoning behind that also why you need to focus on the NASDAQ and NASDAQ 100 right now is because it's clearly the leader and everything that we own is working. We have no sells tonight on an end of day basis, fully or partially. And that's with me tracking the second most stocks I've ever tracked. I'm tracking over 100 stocks now. I'm not long all of them, but I am long the most stocks I've ever been long in my life, and they're all working. So I don't know if there can be any greater confirmation than that. Unfortunately, I did get shaken out of one holding intraday today, and I was able to leave, I guess, basically flat because I got long at 509. So my first cut loss is basically break even at 509, and then my second cut loss was a move below 436. And unfortunately, today CTRV pulled all the way back to 480, going below that 509 level. So it did shake me out, and of course, by the end of the day, once again, like every single sell stop that gets hit of mine, it came back. So I'm not upset about where my sell stop was. It was at a very logical, important support level. What's more impressive is that they all come back, and that's confirmation of how strong this market is. And that's why tonight, despite one new long position, I'm going to add to a few names, including basically buying back an add. So IMPV is a perfect speculator, scan qualifying stock. It's a computer software and services application software firm. At first, whenever I saw it based on the name Imperva, I haven't even looked it up on MarketSmith. And do I have my MarketSmith open? No, I do not. I thought it was a biotech stock initially, so whatever. It doesn't matter. It's a perfect speculator scan stock. 70 stocks qualify out of 10,000 for the scan, so it's obviously of high quality. But if I'm wrong on half the position, I don't risk much. The low of day, 67.81. But before I'm going to know I'm fully wrong on the trade, I've got to wait till the damn thing trades all the way down to below 63. So because of that, it's not a 2.5% long position. It's only a 2% long position if you have that much of the account capital. I clearly don't in the cash account and margin account. I have to check what I'm dealing with buying power. but IMPV I'm going to keep it relatively small because my final cut loss level is quite a bit away from the 70 level. So IMPV, perfect speculator scan quality stock. It was also confirmed in my new 52-week high scan on at least average volume pocket pivot point signal to go along with the breakout. So overall, pretty high quality move, just a little bit of a risky chart overall. And then higher quality long signal HCKT, I added to the stock back here on 630. I knew it was a very short base. My assumption was it's got to blast off and run higher, or else I'm going to have to cut my losses quickly. So I had a sell stop below 1280. It failed it. Where did it fail? Right here. So this day it failed it on the 8th, but it closed where it opened. Ha ha ha. Once again, hitting a sell stop and reversing immediately, and it kept max green bop. So it's been on my radar to basically buy back. So today's breakout here with the weaker close isn't really an add signal, it's more of a buy back signal. But because we don't risk much if we're wrong, and really since I'm buying back and adding to my current position, I'll go ahead and post it for everybody. But normally on the stocks I buy back or end up buying back, I don't normally post as a new long or an add. But HCKT is technically a buyback and an add signal. Overall, pretty strong technical pattern. We don't risk much of a wrong. First cut loss got to be below low of day, 1307. Final cut loss below 1253 if we're wrong on the trade. And then also two recent speculative stocks are looking hot. DRRX is confirming its retake of the 50-day moving average on the 13th. I bought back some shares this date. Didn't post that anywhere, so that's an example of me buying back something and not posting it anywhere. So I bought back some more DRRX on the 13th, and today it's giving a legitimate add signal with a strong move above the 274 high day on the 15th, which I thought at one point intraday was going to be a add day. But today is the add day after all. So 0.5% of the account for this add position in DRRX, 0.5%, especially because before we know on the last part of the position, once again, we got to risk a big pullback. I think it's 20% on this stock, so it's got to go all the way back to 226 before I know for a fact that I'm wrong on that position. And then also want to add to the stock that we just bought this morning. SBSA gave a new long signal last evening with the pocket pivot point signal breakout or bounce on the 50-day moving average. Today it's giving a pocket pivot point signal confirmation signal on above average volume with max green bop, and it's also breaking out to a 52-week high. SBSA was obviously in my bop for green bop, for 20 days, and it was confirmed in my new high scan. DRRX was just in my max green bop for 5 days, not confirmed anywhere. But SBSA, 0.5% add signal. DRRX, 0.5% add signal. HCKT, 1% quote quote buyback add signal quote quote. And then IMPV, 2% no sells. The only two stocks that I need to really do anything with is Coke, COKE. This is Coca-Cola bottling company. This stock had a vicious pullback. I am moving up half of my sell stop to below 148.06, and then the last of the sell stop is of course right now at 139.26, the gap up day, low a day. So 139.26 and 148.06 are the two sell stops. And Domino's Pizza, I guess they're now called Domino's, I only had one sell stop on the book, which was at like 112.10. I'm now splitting it up between 114.53, today's low of day, and the low before our signal date, 111.17. So Domino's Pizza will have its sell stop split up in half. But besides that, that's it. I passed on TSRO yesterday. It was up almost 5% today. Everything looks good. The Investors Intelligence survey came out. Bulls actually fell from the week ago period. They're registering at 43%. There's still no bears at 15%. But back in January, don't forget, bulls were at 60%. So while we break out to new highs here, bulls are nowhere where they were even a long time ago. And I mean, we're up about 9% on this index since they registered at 60%. The bulls in the AAII survey jumped up to 30%. Bears are down to 23%, but neutral still nearly 50%. That's a lot of potential bulls that are a lot of bears that are going to have to be turned into bulls before we see a top.